Hi, Jethro. Good to have you back. As usual, just give it a couple of minutes. Morning, Vandili. I hope so, because I want to get in this one. I want to get a better price. In fact, I did get a better price, to be honest, earlier on this morning, 108.80 for upside. Yeah, but and some I think might have got in 109 or so. I'd like to join it. Someone's getting a decent risk reward at this price, but we'll chat about it in a few seconds. Morning, Beth. So you think it might have, well, surely you know it's triggered or not. Anyway, that's half past. Let's get started. Yeah, on the 4 hour, because it's trying to push through here. So in order to trigger 20, okay. I don't have a 20. Well, I've taken it off. I did have, it's got in the way, but 20 is good enough. Personal choice, no problem with that. Yeah, let's say 108.80. I got in a little bit earlier this morning. I had meetings to do, etc. Now in the trading room, might get the price. I don't want to miss it, but just getting the risk reward at this price is worrying me a little bit. Let's get the position size up while we're on the subject. I want it down there. You see, hang on. That's a pending order. That's right, 108.80. Good at instant. This is where your problem is. That's where your problem is. So try and get a maybe do 109. 109. I'm not sure we're going to get it though. Maybe we can make a plan. Miss it. Have a habit of missing this damn thing. Even that's not going to work. Maybe take a risk and put this up a little bit tighter and put it back on instant. Still, it's not going to work. And I don't want to take it higher. Yeah. Maybe you just squeeze there. Will that work? I'm going to push it too hard. Maybe a little bit lower. That might just about do it. There, something like that. Remember, once you're in a profit, you can modify your stock. How many times it TP? But this is a difficult call. I just want to make it quite clear for the guys here. I think you've all experienced, certain you guys. I can't pick bottom and tops. Nobody in the world can. What's going to happen if we go to 109, 10, 11, 15, or back to 109? It's impossible to call that. There's so many variables, people getting in and out, literally millions at a time. We can only take an overall view. To chase it now, you might get as it pulls back to a better price. So you say you wait for a better price, and it doesn't pull back, and well, then it takes off, and you miss the damn thing. I cannot make that call. That's entirely up to you when you do that. The only way around it is you might want to go in half now if you can. If micro is obviously the only position you can take, that's a different ballgame. If you've got enough capital there to maybe go half now and half later with a pending order a little bit lower, or just go in, never mind the pending order, just go in and see it come off of it. But more if you're in front of your computer, which I assume you are in a trading room, then you can do it. But it'd be ideal to get a little bit better price, maybe around about 109 or better. To take it up. A couple of things though, just always going to be a couple of yangs as well as the yings, if that's the right way around. The dollar index is still strong, 109.80. It's hovering a little bit, but at 2:30 today, just remember, don't be frightened of it. I'm just mentioning it. Be aware of it. So I'm looking at. Don't be frightened. Be aware. 2:30 is U.S. retail sales, initial jobless claims, manufacturing index, the Philadelphia Manufacturing Index. They're all so it doesn't read on it. Give the silence. Oh, dear me. Okay, so we've got the 50 DMAs right down there. Unless you're using a 1 hour chart or something. But yeah, or exponentially, or usually, yeah, you need exponential slightly higher up. Anyway, but still a long way away, even on the exponential it gets. But I don't want to miss the trade. I do like it. Clearly, I like it. Maybe just stretch the TP, or maybe I don't know, stop loss. Maybe I'd like to prefer the stop loss down here. Actually, can we just squeeze it there? Is that squeezing it a bit? Might squeeze it there if you want to enter now. But as I say, we've got a 3 coming up at 2, which could be favorable for the dollar. We don't know that. And the dollar index seems to be hovering over the last hour or so in the 109.80 area, 109.80 area. But as I say, I do see upside. Brent's still holding reasonably. Don't trade Brent at the moment. Don't short or buy it. Just leave it alone. But it seems to be holding a little bit better than I expected. I expected more of a pullback to maybe get another buy-in, but it hasn't occurred, so leave it alone. But still okay. The yen, they're still, from a government perspective, still economic perspective, should I say, they're still fairly double. So that's leaving the yen open to a bit more weakness. So yeah, I like it basically. Just you've got to make your mind up whether you want to wait to get a bit of entry and risk missing out, or chase it now and go half later. But there's a trade idea on there. Change it around to instant. So hope we can all see it. Hello, Pauline. Pauline, the guys are fairly new. Some stuff's going to be going on here. You say might be a little bit new to you. Well, that's the idea. You come in, you want to learn. If you're not sure of something, or you want a link, or want to know about DXY or yields or something like that, or where do you get that calculator from, or anything like that, just ask. Okay. Just Ryan, you can't unmute at the moment because there's a bit of a background racket, so I've muted everybody. But if you want to chat, just remind me and I'll for that chat. Okay. Don't forget, quick one here. If you want to find out what margins and all that, I'm pretty sure a lot of people still don't understand this gearing business or leverage business. Let's click on the instrument. Right click on the instrument, and then left click on specification. Gives you the contract size and it gives you the margin. So you know what the deposit is. Margin means deposit. So you know what your leverage is. Divide the margin into 100 gives you your leverage. Okay. Right. So bottom line, basically, it's coming off a bit, so you might get a better price. Okay. So just ask these questions because people, I know for a fact, are trading these markets, hearing about 500-to-1 spreads and 100-to-1 leverage and not knowing what it means and the pros and cons, anything about it. It's not mathematically brilliant, it's just they just don't know. So it is very important you do know. These basics you'll pick up here, if you're not sure, ask, because they are practical, very useful stuff. Always remember you learn all sorts of stuff in your studying, most of it you're not going to use in the practical world, you just need to know it. I try and concentrate on practical stuff, that's got to be understood. Position sizing, get your chart set up so it's not confusing you, so you can get the information quickly. Position size calculator, so you don't go overexposed or underexposed, come to that. Know what the dollar index is doing, how to see it, how to minimize it, what the yields on the 10-year note are, and basically the economic calendar and things like that. These sort of basics are absolutely essential. And know how to get what the margin is and understand the pros and cons of leverage. Okay, and remember, leverage doesn't matter if you know what you're prepared to risk. If you've got a 10 grand account and you're prepared to risk 500 or 600 rand, once you get the volumes, if you're stopped out, the maximum risk is 600 bucks. Whether it's 100-to-1, 5-to-1, 1,000-to-1, it's not really the relevance. It's people going in with high position sizes because they can on highly leveraged accounts and wondering why they get margin call in a slight movement against them. The noise is the up and down. You get a bit of noise, and the margin call, the positions automatically close, and they don't know why, because they're grossly overexposed. The Nasdaq is all very sexy. Dow's very sexy. Don't touch it if you've got less than 5K, because the volatility and the wide stop loss required means you won't be able to handle 1-2 grand account. Even if you're right, you're going to get stopped out in the extreme volatility. So just those things we need to pick up. And if you're not sure, repeat them and understand them, because you cannot trade without those basics. It's tough enough trying to understand the market sometimes, some of the movements, think what's going on, even you're supposed to be pro. But if you're not getting the other stuff, which is controllable, correct, you're going to wind up in the debtor's prison, in the poorhouse. And that's not our fault, that's yours, because the information is there. If you're not going to want to go and take hold of it, then it's not going to happen. Okay, and like everything, it does take time to do it. The sort of thing, literally, I think it was on the weekend or a couple of days ago, whenever, saying, I don't know a single multi-millionaire who did it sort of part-time with a half-hearted, no work approach. Well, I haven't really got time to do that. No, they put in the hard work, put in the grind, put in the effort, put in the time. It's like anything else. If you want to be successful, if it's here, you got to put in the time. If you don't like this, you have to clear it up. But you don't become successful at anything if you're going to do it part-time. Well, I haven't got the time. Can you do this for me or that for me? And you're not in control. Someone's on control. It's not good. You've got to be in control. Very important. Well, I've seen this, Jethro, you laugh, but I've seen guys say, I'm so busy in a meeting at the moment, I didn't have time to change my stop loss or into the particular, and they've got decent sized accounts as well into that position. Well, I don't know what they're getting paid to go to that meeting, but sure, it's not as much as a couple of thousand rands they missed out on. You know what I mean? If it is, well, fair enough. But yeah, prioritize as well. No one's going to pay you to go to work. Oh, I'm too busy trading. I might pop in. Can you put a video on for me, or just sort it out because I'm busy trading? I'm not going to pay you a salary. Well, same sort of principle. That's the lady. Yeah. Okay. So I didn't know you're on. Shame caught. Didn't know you're on. Very important. And I'm sure people smile and understand it's taken the right way, because I give a continental, I give a shit, especially when you're doing well now. Okay, right. So the CAD JPY is pulling back a bit. I do like it. If you're getting the 109 mark or better, I suggest you take it. Yeah, I get tough on my clients. I remember years ago, it's a guy, an Austrian guy, never forget, he said to me, I better move with stop loss or you'll get into my case or something. Yeah, I take it seriously, yeah. We're trading Marines, my friend. We don't lose. Losing is not an option. Well, more than winning, especially when you can control it. Okay, can't control the markets, this happens, but yeah, going with 10 when you should go in 1, or going 1 when you should go in 10, that's not cool. Okay, so keep an eye on that one. It's coming back a bit, as we can see. I think we might get a better price before we jump it, so keep an eye on it, we'll come back to it. Let's look at the other trades in the meantime. The Nasdaq's still holding, I think, sort of fairly. No, it hasn't bounced. It might get a bounce. I definitely said don't trade it. Leave the bloody thing alone. At the moment, it's all over the place. It'll create, I promise you, what you're doing, it'll cause you more stress and frustration and anger than it'll cause you happiness and profit. I'm prepared to bet on that. So leave it alone. I expect a bit of a bounce and then to send it short, sell the rally. We didn't get the rally. If you break below 12,000, depending on some economic fundamentals, and other areas like the yield on the bond starts screaming up near 4%, then you can sell it down. But I think it's going to hover above 12,000 for a while. So it makes it mind up whether it wants to jump back to 12.5 or break through. So don't get too caught up with that. And the problem is you do need such a wide stop. It's enormous volatility, especially in 3:30 opening, that it's just not worth the hassle. The returns aren't worth the hassle. Okay, Nasdaq gold. A lot of guys said come off, let's buy it. Said no, don't. So a rally, and I hope they took notice of it because it didn't really rally much. We couldn't get in on a short, but it just still came off. So we had some people might steal me. Had a gold short on at 1680, I think it was, or 1690 as the TP. So I hit the TP, or they're still in, modify the stop and profit, or they might have been already stopped out in a profit. That's great. Don't chase it now. A buy or a sell or anything. It's too low, in my opinion, at this stage to sell without something coming in. And why would you go and buy it now? I thought if we can get a bit of better price, even can't get to 1720, maybe 1715 or something, we can sell it down again. We didn't get that. It hovered around the 17,375 level, and then it took out 17. So it's not tradable at the moment. Leave it alone, and don't think it was a bit lower now. I think I'll go and buy it. Okay, not a good idea. Okay. Sell the rally at the moment. Okay. Let's look at some of the trade ideas we got out yesterday. The GBP CAD came right in the end, but it hit some guy's stop loss. What a pity, but it came right in the end. It's not going bloody ocean again. Just a bloody moment now. Right. GBP USD, I think the same thing, but it's coming right. No, GBP USD got stopped out. That was the problem. And it's coming right at the moment. What a pity about that. As you can see, it's now slightly in profit. It's a pity. Again, we must discuss these stop loss again. It's happened. We've had an enormous amount of winning trades, and one or two of the losing ones have been kicked out on the stop and then come in the right direction. It might be an idea to go smaller positions and wider stops. I'm seriously looking at that because I'll be honest, I've been in a couple of trades where I have, well, I've got the funds with a wider stop and actually have come out and scored when some of the other guys have been stopped out. So I think we must seriously consider maybe wider stops and smaller positions because it's hell of a frustrating to get kicked out, which we did yesterday with this thing here. But, yeah, got kicked out. We had 87, got kicked out at 90, and look, it's now slightly in profit at breaking even. Very frustrating. So maybe we should add a bit of a wider. We'll look at that the next trade idea we look at. So that's a pity. It's turning out to be a winner. And some guys are still in it, and some guys are not why it stops. That's their choice and still in it. But don't play around too much moving the stop away because it's happened before, and then it'll come right. And it doesn't, you could get yourself in some unholy mess. So be very careful of that. Okay. Not an open sesame to say move your stop away because it's going to come right. Absolutely not. But maybe start off with a wider stop and start modifying towards, not one closer stop and modifying it away. Not a good idea. GBP CAD, some people got in at higher than 52. We got at 51.95. Let's look at this one now. Seemed to be doing last I looked. Yeah, it's doing okay at the moment. Some guys got in higher up. I know a certain person I've just been teasing just now got in at a lot better price. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to joke back at me now. It's going to be a game all now for that lady there because she was busy in a meeting, couldn't see it in time, so got at a far better price and scored brilliantly. So what you lose in the swings, you gain the roundabout. So it did the favour. So what you lost on one, got back on the other one. So well done the meeting, maybe some bucks there. Got in a far better price. We got in at this one. So yeah, you can tease me on that one the other way around. But yeah, where were we? We got in anyway in the trading at 51.95. So guys got in better, clearly modified the stop. You're a nice profit. Now, the problem being now is if you got in at 51.95 in the trading room, you're under 20 pips. I don't want to stop loss 20 pips or 15, 20 pips away. Because you went on the shorts, you're getting out on the ask or the buy, and that's less than 20 pips away. I think that's too close. I'd rather have 30 pips before we start modifying your stop to entry. So just hold 5, but if you can take out 65 and start moving to 65, 60 area on the buy, the ask, not on the bid, we can start getting the stop down to entry or slightly below to cover costs, so you can't lose in the trade, and then you can relax on that because you know whatever happens, you can't lose, just how much money you're going to make. Okay. Come to that in a moment. It's a very important question you made there, Raymond. It's causing that question's caused a lot of problems. You've got to do that, Philip. You've got to give it room to move for the noise. A lot of people confusing different trends and different movements, all that sort of thing. with the noise. The noise is the noise. The ups and downs of buyers and sellers taking profit and exiting and all sorts of things all the time. The big moves come from basically trending days when you get a fundamental announcement. Okay, so I don't think it's so, yeah, it's gone up a bit. Now we're seeing a red candle to change the trend. No, that's the noise. If it continues, well, you've got your stop, protect and stick with the strategy. I know it plays havoc with your stake because the transparency, you look at your profit and loss and it's going against you and it's hurting. So, oh, should I get out of this trade or should I move my stop loss too close because I don't want to or whatever? In the end, the trade comes right and you knocked out in the small loss or the small profit, hopefully a small profit, yeah, and you're missing out on a decent return. That's where, unfortunately, a lot of the retail guys get caught. But it's easier said than done because the institutional guys got these big, these big amounts there, books they're trading on behalf. It takes stress, of course, but it's not their money. Their jobs on the line, sure, it's not their money. And with your own money, and it's often limited funds, it has an enormous impact psychologically. So I get that completely. I'm not very empathetic. I've been there, I know it, still there. So I get that completely. I can say you cannot change it. It's the way it is. But to take a deep breath, say, I've got my strategy. I can afford if I get stopped out, hang on in there. And if I do see the profit, have the patience to come right, modify the stop. Because it breaks my sodding heart when I see a winner turn to a loser. Or you took it far too quickly in panic, and to see the brilliant trade idea coming from Zeph or Ashley, where you should have been making loads and loads of dosh, and you don't get it, so don't have it. So that's a pity. Yeah. Okay, so I hope that's clear. Okay, so don't move it just yet. If we get some more downside, we'll get moved. But anyway, it's in the profit, so that's nice. Okay, the US dollar yen, I sent out to a couple of people to be fair. Did we get it in the trading room yesterday? No, we did actually. Where's yesterday? Did we get in the trading? No, we did. That was it. Might have been. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Good stuff. Got in at what was it? One. That's right. It was 142.60, I think, somewhere around about there. It's doing all right last time. Something catastrophic has happened. That's doing very nicely. So it's doing excellently at the moment. It's come off a bit. It was a bit higher earlier on, around about the 75 mark. It's down back to 60, but it's doing okay. So if you've got a 42.60, clearly you're a big smile on your face, 100 pips up. If you got in originally a little bit higher, well, you're still up. So suggest you move your stop up. Don't want to get too close. I think 40 was a bit, I'll be honest with you guys, mine's at 40. I moved mine to 40 because it was at 70 odd at the time. I think I'll leave it at 40, but I'm suggesting you move yours to 30. So 143.30 is your stop loss. I'm not sure of getting it too close. I hate to get knocked out in the noise and then it shows up to 144, 145 again. So make it 143.30. You cannot lose in the trade. You're in a winning setup. Okay, come to that in a moment. Okay. Okay, well, before I come to you, Raymond, rule number one, which I have to say I've set myself is it comes to a trade a request that takes precedence. So I'm going to back up that ruling and go straight to that now. AZJPY. First of all, I'm looking on a buy on that one before I even looked at it. I'm not looking at the chart, I'm looking at the screen now. I haven't even looked at it, I'm looking at a buy. I see the AUD in the mid-range, I see the JPY in the weak range, and the other three I mentioned, CAD, USD, and CAD in the strong range. So automatically I'm thinking of a buy. Then I look at this, I'm going to crunch it a little bit, if that's the right jargon. Zoom out, I think it's the proper way. And clearly it's in the buy zone. You'll see that. And is holding a little bit above the 10. Well, half of it is anyway. The better half. So what we want to do is we want to look to buy on this one. Just zoom in a bit so you can see a bit more clearly. It's come down, it's held the 10, it's come down this level here, and it's starting to bounce. Now, remember, this is the CAD JPY, this is the USD JPY, it isn't the CHF JPY. It's a middle against a lightweight. So I don't see the lights being shot out of this at the moment. We got some information just on the fundamental today on the Aussie. Just what was it again? Give me a second, give me back the other calendar. Employment change was slightly lower than expected. It didn't help the Aussies cause much, but didn't make that much. There's only a small difference, so we don't have to worry too much. One less thing to worry about. So we're looking at the buy. 97 seems to be holding, and I like it. Well, how far have we got to the TP? Plenty upside. Have we got a decent risk reward? Yes, we have. It's pushing it to go down there. We can do it down there. Unless you want to take a wider stop, then you won't get the risk reward. I mentioned earlier on about a wider stop to get to try and not get kicked out, sort of thing. But if you do that, you can get about a 1 to 1.1, which might be satisfactory. So it might be worth risking a slightly tighter stop round about these levels out the way. And 97 seems to be holding. So I'm going to go and put my hat on the line, but just have a quick check. The 4 hour seems to be breaking through there. And the 1 hour, it seems to be trying to break through there as well. And the weekly, that seems to be fine as well. So I do quite like this. It's not as powerful as a strong against, heavyweight against the light. Remember, it's the middleweight against the lightweight, but I do like it. So we'll look at the risk reward and see who wants to take it. Okay. I'm going to put the stop loss in down here, 96.28. Might even manage 96.2, slightly wider, as I mentioned earlier on. And we'll take it up to 98.35. There we are. Actually, make it 98.30. I'll explain that in a moment with Clark Raymond's question because of the spread. Oh, that's not going to work. Yeah. That's 1.5. I don't want to squeeze it to stop any tighter. Tough. If you don't like the risk reward, try and get a better price. But I don't want to forget Raymond's question. I want to come back to an important one. Let's get this trade. This is number one priority. I'll sort it out. Right. Better price, 97 to try to push through already or chase it now. Reward is not ideal. I like a 1.5 on the risk reward, but I don't really want a wider stop. Actually, that's what I could do because I could come back here. I'm not keen on it. I actually prefer a wider stop. I prefer a wider stop. Maybe trade it here. It's slightly below this area here. Slightly if we can, even there. It's not ideal. You always modify, but I don't want to. That's ideal situation. If you're happy with those figures, you can take it. Well, that's up to you. But I see it along on this one. Okay. Jethro likes it. Mintimer clearly likes his idea. Turns around and there's a floor cross and says he doesn't like it. Well, I don't know. Anybody else like it? Okay, right. That's good enough for me. See, I like it. So I said so. Right. AUDJP. AUDJPY. Uh, 97, in between the spreads, call it 97.02, 96, 95.90. Make it 96 on the, make it 95.90, just below 95.90. Stick with it, and call it 95.56. I think 98.56. I do like a good risk reward, but again, repeat, guys, it's not critical once you're in the TP, because often you modify the stop and it doesn't get there, you stopped out in the profit. Well, so be it. Coming a better price, so we're starting better. So we can keep the stop in the right place. Okay. So you've all got that one? Right, just before we go on with writing that down and explain with Raymond. You've got what's called the spread, but it's different between the bid and ask, as it says up here, and the buy and sell, or the sell and buy in this case. Okay. Let's make it a round figure of 5 pips spread. Here it's about 3, but let's call it 5 pips spread. If you get in on the buy, you get out on the sell, and you're going long. So let's say your stop loss, sorry, your TP is, I can't see too clear, I'll change that color a bit. Make it that color, see a bit clearer. Here we are, see a bit clearer. In fact, no, it's in the black. Make it, let's do that, some more intelligent still. Or at least a dark brown top. I want to see it clearly. want a dark color. Make it black. What the hell? Don't want to confuse the other black. So at least you can see. At least you can see the numbers. What I'm after there. Right. So you're getting in on the buy, and that's the market maker spread. That's your cost. That's we call it the market maker spread. That's the way he makes his brokerage. Okay. Right. Let's say it's 5 pips. So it gets up to 98.56 on the buy. You're still in, even though you see the candle will be there. You're still in. The sell has got to get up to that to get you out. So that's why sometimes it might be an idea, if you get a strong high, to make your target about 5 pips below the high. So if the ask gets there and you're on a long, to make sure you're kicked out in the TP with the bid, because it's no much good to you if it gets there on the ask, but the bid doesn't get there or the sell doesn't get there. You're still in, and it retraces. You're not front of the computer, and now clearly you're fed up. So I hope that makes sense to everyone, including Raymond. So it might be an idea. Just bear that in mind. Hope that all makes sense. Hasn't, please ask, because it's important. You know, this is 3-star importance, because it causes misery to people. They're still in, even though they can see the wick there, and it's come off, and why they're still in. Because if on a long, the bid didn't hit the TP, but the ask did. On a short, it's the other way around. You're in on the sell, and you're out on this one. So once you're in, you ignore that, you look at this one. That has got to hit your TP, not this guy here. Okay, what you do there is you right-click on there, on the line, see the word properties, click on that properties, and there you go. That's your take profit line, change the color to black. Charmaine, it's absolutely vital you do what Charmaine did there. If you're not sure, it's vital to ask. Don't nod head intelligently, what the hell's he on about? If it's not that important, well, so be it. But this is important. The spread is, the actual price of this is what we call in between the spreads. The market price is set by the market maker. That gives you the liquidity to get in and out the markets. That's the responsibility of the market maker. That's why we call it a market maker. And the price set is in between the spreads. So let's call it, it's not a 3, call it a 4 pip spread to make my life easier. So it'll be, if it's 4 pips, 2 pips in between is the actual price. They set a sell price 2 pips below and a buy price 2 pips above. That is 4 pips. 4 pips is therefore their brokerage when you enter the market, the costs, if you like. That's how they make the brokers, you know, it's their markup, if you like. That's the business. Okay. Now, how it works then is in your spreads account, you go in and get out immediately, you're going to lose money because you're getting out that price, getting in that price and getting out that, and you just lost 4 pips. That's one of spreads account, which I quite think you should be having actually. But don't tell the bosses that because it's probably further commission. Anyway, that's another story. But the spreads account is because when you go in, you'll immediately see a minus sign. Immediately. Unless the flow is so damn quick, as you press the button, it jumps and you're in the profit and the blue already. But normally speaking, when you go in on the spreads account, you're in a minus because you're going at that. Now you're 3 pips down, 2 pips. So that's got to get that to break even. The beauty of the spreads account is once you see the blue, it's yours net. You haven't got to take permission to account. Williams, you're not a pippers, you shouldn't be trading. You've got to go to Forex class. You've got to know. I'll explain, but it's not my job, to be honest, to explain the trading room. That's taken as read. It's like going to university to study mathematics. 1 and 1 is 2. You need to know that basics. Thanks for asking. It's very, very important, but I'll explain in a moment. Okay, so that is the market maker spread. So where was I on that basis? Okay, yeah. So I hope that's a little bit clearer. So yeah. So once you see blue on the spreads account, that's yours, because already that money's been taken off. Because now the 5 has gone up to the 9, you're broken even. When it's gone to 10, you're 1 pip in profit. I'm not using money because it depends. If you've got a standard lot, you can have a higher amount than a mini or a micro or 2 standard lots. You get the idea. So I'm using pips rather than money. But pips, what we're after, not points. See this little 5 here? That last decimal point, that's a point. That's the only relevance of that. People got multi-million rand accounts and it counts because of that. Otherwise, don't forget about it. It's irrelevant to you. Look at the pips. That's why you always see me put down the fourth, not the fifth point of decimal point, because it just confuses the issue. You think you're up 25, you're not. You're up 2.5. No, you're after pips. Ignore that. It's only relevant for very, very, very big accounts. It's like interest rates gone up by 0.01%. It's irrelevant on a 10,000 rand account, but on a 50 million rand account, it makes a difference. None of us here have got that kind of account, so don't worry about it. Okay, so the spread is the difference in the bid and ask or the buy and sell, whichever way around you prefer, means the same. You got it now, Raymond. Have you got that, Charmaine? It's very important. Okay, so no, you just make it so your target, instead, make it 97. Let's say your target's 97. Make my life easier. Forget. Let's say your target, you got it at 96, your target's 97. Make your TP 96.95, 96.95. So if it goes up further, well, so be it. You can't tell that. But then you'll be out. So if it hits 97, you'll be out, because you'll know the buy will show up on the chart there. But look at that tiny spread there. See what I mean? You're the top one on the long is the buy. The lower line is the ask or the sell. Sorry, the lower line is the bid or the sell. That little line there has got to go up to the top to get out. So each time you set a target, maybe make it 3 or 4 pips below or something like that. Target, so make sure if it hits it, you're out. Or you're pretty confident it's going to get there anyway, but it doesn't matter. But at least you know the reason why. That is your choice. You can make your choice once you have the information to make the choice. Too many guys, unfortunately, not given the proper, correct information. I mean that. It's not always your fault, because they don't understand themselves after time, not giving you the full information to make that decision, and then you're operating on misinformation. And then it's not your fault, and then you're frustrated. And quite frankly, I don't sodding blame you. Okay. Okay, guys, listen, if you know what a TP is, or a stop loss is, or a pip is, or a lot size is, you've got to go to Forex Class. This is a trading room where we clarify, we do a little bit of trade to help clarify areas, and we discuss trades. We assume those base are known. A lot of guys in this trading room who are trading, and they want to come here to make money and get trade ideas and the practical expertise. It's going to be far too time consuming for me to explain the absolute basics. So TP is the take profit or the target. So when you put in a take profit, that's a TP or an SL stop loss. That is your risk reward. Well, it's a bit less now. See, we're doing okay. But anyway, the bottom line is that's your entry, etc. These things you need to know. You've got to know the difference between a micro, a mini, and a standard lot. You've got to know position sizing and basics like that. Absolutely vital. You would not get in the car if you're not sure where the brake is. It's not a good idea. So go to a couple of classes, get the basics. Don't think you're going to be there the next 3 years. Couple of classes, get the basics, interact with the presenter. I promise you they love it when you interact, because they can ask you questions and make sure that the teacher knows you're learning by interacting. Ask like Charmaine asked there and Raymond did. So go in, get those basics, and please come back here, and then you can apply the practical. Don't spend the next 6 months on theory, because most of it you don't need anyway. I'll be horribly honest with you. You need to get the basics, and then we'll just build on that to the practice. But I can't help a certain, if you know what a pip is, or a blue line is on the chart, what a moving average is, or any of the basics, then you're going to be drowned when we talk about certain economic fundamentals. We can do all that building it. Warren, we want you back here. We want those guys back here, but you need those basics. So we held up the Zefs, the Ashleys, the Farneys, the Yarpies, the other guys, Bayers, or whatever in the store. Okay. And these guys are very good, like Zef will help you out. You must have that calculator, easy, go live chat, technical support, and they'll put it on your laptop. You've got to find them on the Play Store somewhere if you phone. But you should be able to do the maths after a while anyway. But you need to know position sizing, everything. It's astounding how many people we've got trading who haven't even read page 1 of the manual. I'm wondering why. And they drown us in the live chats and the emails, etc., asking questions that, well, shouldn't be asked too much. Like one guy called up and says, just quick trade, have volatility trades. I mean, what sort of question is that? You know what I mean? We're trying to trade, we're trying to drive a car without knowing even where the brake is or what the gear lever is. And that is financially not good for them, especially those guys, the least people can afford to lose money, which will happen. Almost certainly understand that. It's not available on Apple, but I'll be honest, I don't know much about Apple. I should do. It's all the rage overseas. In fact, it's a bit snobby on it. If you don't have an Apple in the UK, look down the nose at you if you're on Microsoft. But I'm sorry, Apple's something I eat. But yeah, but after you can actually do it in your head if you will write it down with a bit of press in your head. If the stop loss is at 95.90, and the TP is, what are we on there? What are we on there? That's right, 98.56, 8.56, call it. You get me? Don't ignore that last decimal place. You know the stop loss here is 95.90, and you know the entrance is 97.05. Ignore that, okay? Well, 97.05 minus 95.90 is going to be 115 pips. You know it's 10 cents American a pip. So clearly that's $11.50 a pip. You multiply that by the exchange rate, and that will give you your risk. Now, you say that's rubbish because we've got a risk here of 140. All right, complicate matters first. Let's just explain what I mean by that, in case you think, what the hell's he on about? Left click, right click, specification, contract size on all forex is 100,000 per standard lot. Right, so it's 10 cents, correct. What I didn't say, though, was 10 Aussie cents, because the base currency is the Aussie dollar. So the whatchamacallit, the contract size is 100,000 Aussie dollars. So it's actually 95 to 9705 is your risk. So it's 11.5. You take one from the other, 10 cents a micro. We have the micro, you can always build on that. It's $11.50, it's 11 Australian 50. And the exchange rate is obviously different on the Aussie to the American. So just bear that in mind. Okay. But give the calculator, that's a bit much, just a bit practice on that. Let's get on. Okay, sorry guys, but you're quite right. So if you want to take this trade, it's come back 97. If you want it, there are the figures. Okay. Right. Okay, I hope that's all cleared up. You spent a long time. All right, Shepard, these guys don't want to get trades in. Okay, so it is. We've got it down AUDG at 7. Okay, and it's 9702. Let's see how it goes. Right. Moving on to the next one. At the end of Elson, we had euro dollar. I think anybody's still in that one. I'm not sure. I'm trying to look by the 14th yesterday. US dollar yen, CHF. Oh, that's right. The CHF JPY. 148.60. Do we do anything with that? Let's have a check on that. Yes, we do. Right. It's doing well. Pleasant to say it's doing well. Nice to hear that. Hey, 148.60. It's now 60 pips in profit. So clearly we've been modifying the stop. I think you can put the stop loss on this one to 148.80. There we are. Now we built in 20 pips profit, a little bit of cost, but not that much. 148.80, so you know you've got at least 20 pips profit, and it's still 36 pips away, and just as important, a round figure. So it does pull back a bit. Remember, this is a very strong currency in a weak one. The 149 is like the whole, so it's saying one goes off in Switzerland or something, I don't know. But yeah, 149 should go well, a little round figure. So put it 148.60. You cannot lose on the trade. You can always modify it later on if it still goes in the right direction. But now we've got a nice winning trade. Okay, hope we're okay on that one. So that one I'm going to tick for a winner. The US dollar is a winner. This is from yesterday, by the way. That's good news. Before look at that, GBP CAD, can we move the stop loss? Can we do it? Can we do it? GBP CAD, not quite yet. We'll come back to it. It's still only under 20 pips in profit. We'll come back to it. The yen, is it still doing okay? It's come off a bit, but it's still okay. Right, AUD CAD. All right, just let's have a look at that. Nice little tip here. Just somebody click on the form, go back the data, make sure you got all the information there. Sometimes it's still coming through and you're acting on misinformation. Right, so all the information's come through onto the screen now. AUD, CAD. AUD is strongish. Canada is one of the weaker ones. No, it's not one of it. It's the weaker of the three heavyweights, and the Aussie is one of the stronger of the middleweights. So there's a disparity between the two, but it's not that fantastic. That is still, we're looking for the sell rather than the buy. Okay, now on top of it, we've got below the two major moving averages, which we should all have, guys. If you don't, please put it on, and don't forget, quick one there, save it. So you go to templates and save your template. So if you have a problem, you can go back to the same template, and then you have your charts refreshed again. Right, put this on, 200 days simple, 50 days simple, very important. If you like the 10, which I do, put that on as well. Okay, the 10 seems to be holding. So we're in the sell zone, right? We'll clearly see that. The 10 popped its head up, and the 10 seems to be holding on the body. So, and it's around the round psychological figure of resistance, or in this case, support at the 0.89 level. So this one I deem a short. What have you got down there? A sell. Let's go on check it. So we'll be buying a sell. So a T, yeah, okay, I like it. Yeah, we looked at 2 seconds ago. It's doing okay. I wouldn't move the stop loss yet, Mr. Samson, so I don't know your name, but it's doing okay. It's in profit, depending where you got it. If you got it at the 95 area, leave it. If you got it above the 52 area, you can move it down to entry. We'll come back in a minute. In a minute, okay. Right, just finish this one off because it's looking okay. Right, where are we? You're putting it 88.30. And the other one is TP, sorry, wrong way around. Got the wrong way around there for me anyway. 89.30, beg your pardon. 89.30. And the other one's 88.30. Is that right? 88. No, hang on, get this right. 88.30 is the TP. So he's getting right. It's like driving on the right instead of the left. Get used to it. I can put the stop loss first. 88.30. And we're going short. That's correct. Yeah, that should do it. Ideally, to be honest, I prefer to have the stop above the 50, but that's an ideal world. It's not a big strength smash. It's starting to go in the right direction. It's okay. It's not bad, actually. But it's pretty good, in fact. Never mind. Okay, it's pretty good. Give me credit's due. Can we make it a bit? No, we can't. No. Okay, I'm happy with the figures. That's all very well. Clearly, just traded before. In an ideal world, I would like to have a little bit above there, but then you're going to rubbish your TP unless you're putting TP down there. So this will do for the moment. It's still no good. And the 10 is holding clear, as you can see. I'm happy with that. Anyone want to join Jethro? And I'm for the record, I agree with him. Anyone want to join Jethro on that one? Is that correct? 89.30. It's a daily chart. That seems a bit strange. It's only 40 pips away. No, I don't like it. Sorry, it's a bit too close. That's highly aggressive. I'd like to have the stop up here. It's too aggressive. You want the aggressive one, Jethro? I have no problem. I prefer to have this one there at a wider stop. I didn't just quite as close as that. And the TP down here. I prefer that one for the wider stop, give it a room to move. That's for the more conservative. For the more aggressive, which I've absolutely no problem with. A lot of guys want shorter term, almost day trading, or 1 or 2 day trades or whatever. For more aggressive, we can do both. So start off with, do you prefer the aggressive one of Jethro, or do you prefer the slightly longer term one of the wider stop? I like them both. Do you like them? Let's take it from there. It's up to you. Well, Mike, that's your answer. Answer that one immediately. Excuse me. So, if you want to do that one, I'm quite happy. You can get a bigger position because your risk obviously is smaller. It's only 40 rand instead of 100 rand. So obviously, clearly you can get more volume, or you can change over this. It's entirely up to you. I'll get the feedback. We can't do that yet, Raymond. We're sticking to this one. Write it down. We can't look at it till we got it. Yeah, I like it. So Tell me which one you want, the conservative one or the more aggressive one. The risk reward, in short, the risk reward down there means you're risking 1 to make 1.68. So instead of 2 to 1 risk reward, it's about a 1.7 risk reward. So you're risking 10 to make 17. Simple as that. You prefer the conservative. Okay. Anybody want to join Mike in the conservative before we go back to the aggressive? Mike's in. You like the aggressive, Adele? Oh, I like it. Yeah, my kind of lady. Probably got married, 15 kids. Oh, all right, and a rugby husband. And he played for Ford for the Springboks. Oh, okay. But anyway, joking apart, that's great. So we like this one. Not this one, and we'll be aggressive. We'll do them both. Right. AUD, CAD. Sell. And 88.92. 0.8964. 0.8766. Write it down quickly, guys, because I'm moving over now. The aggressive. The aggressive is just down there. And this was up here. There's the aggressive. You might have to put that down slightly lower to get a better risk reward. There, you can do that. There you are. That's more aggressive. And there, call it 50 Rand. 50 Rand a micro. There's a pleasure. So you want to risk 500 Rand, it's 1 minute. If you want to risk 1,000 Rand, it's 0.2, etc., etc. There's the match for you. Who wants to do the aggressive? Adele likes that. Who wants to join? Are you going to the aggressive one there, Jethro, to make it 2? Okay, you're aggressive. Jethro, meet Adele. There, we're starting a dating site on here. I know you both got ladies, only in fun. Or bounces, I mean. AUD, CAD, aggressive. Conservative. Right. So, we're at 8890, 0.8927, 0.8832. Just a second. Grab it, the mark's moving. Remember that tip I gave? The market's moving quickly. Get your entry in. Don't rush it, press the wrong button. Get your entry in. And you can always put the stop loss and the TP in afterwards. Once you're in the market, then you can relax and put it in afterwards, as in modifying it. Otherwise, you take too long putting the SL and TP in, and it might have moved 10 pips, and you're losing out. As the candles are 4 hours, I looked earlier on actually, and I liked it as well. 4 hours looking okay as well, starting to break through. Now that's fine. Hours okay, so we'll see how it. Don't forget, guys, especially new guys, you might bob around a bit. You got in at 90 and it goes up to 95. Don't stress and go up and down. You worked out your volume, you've used the position size calculator, you got your protective stop loss. And if the worst hits the worst and you hit the stop loss, so be it. Annoying, and that's all it is. It's not traumatizing. Only traumatizing, you're grossly overexposed. We don't want guys on 10 grand accounts losing 1,000 Rand. You're overexposed. Yeah, that's the general idea. And we're not doing too badly here, Jethro, hey? I think you'd agree on that. That's why it breaks my heart when guys take profit too quickly or jump out or modify the stop loss too quick, and then they start turning winners into mediocre winners or even to break even, sometimes losing. That hurts. Is that right? Did you see that, guys? Actually, I'm a bit blind. Could someone write that out? Could someone read it out to me? I can't see it too clear. I'm asking me hassle here. Could someone read it out to me? Nice and loud, a bit deaf as well. I'm only kidding. Brilliant, Jethro. That has just made my day. Yeah, I'll look at that in a moment, Mike. I'm just sort of sitting there feeling a bit warm and fuzzy. That's the good news. Do you know what the bad news is, Jethro? Not Jethro, the other guys. You can't ask him for money, and his answer will be, because I've given it all to my wife. Is that right? Isn't that true, Jethro? Where's it all gone? Oh, my wife spent it. Oh, bloody hell. You're not going. No, don't tell me that. That's the trouble. It's like being the market from 0 to 0. Euro CAD. We'll move on anyway. Don't waste everyone's time. Euro USD. Euro USD. What price do you get in at to move the stop? Mike, what price do you enter at? Actually, we've got a 99.70 here. You get a better one? Because you can't move the stop at 99.87. It's only 10 pips up. According to us, it's 87. 99.85. Oh, no, God, no. Come on, Mike. That's 8 pips away. You can't move the stop yet. We can move it if you want to reduce. But I suggest just leave it for the moment. Hang on. Just thinking now. Normally, I'd say leave it. But if 2:30 coming up, something goes wrong, then at least you reduce your risk. So what I suggest you do is you can. Normally, I wait till it's about 30 pips in profit, and I bring it down to the original, straight down to just below entry, or just better than entry, if you use the word, to take out risk. Okay, it's still maybe if you want to reduce your risk, maybe make it 1 point. Got this right. Got to get this right. 1.0020, and just hope you don't get stopped out before it screams down again. But I'll leave that to the choice. But certainly don't bring down to entry. Far too close. But that's all clear, Mike. So at the moment, I'd say we're in a profit, but it's not that much. Normally speaking, I'd say leave it till we get. If it gets down, what we got on? What do we get on here? 0.95. If it goes below 65, then you get down to entry. Okay. Happy? CAD CHF. No, it's actually come off a bit, but it's still better than you. Hang on a minute there. Mr. Alio. I'm going to try and pronounce it properly. Alio. Hang on a minute there. You guys went in on the sell at 72.94. We went in on the buy. Lorenzo's not here in the sell. 72.94. It's not quite as handsome as the profit as it was before, but it's still up. That wiped the bloody smile off his face. Did you see that? Oh, sorry, Jacob's being all serious here. Yeah, okay, he's got serious money on it. 16 pips away. It's a bit close, but I'm a little bit worried on it. It's still CAD is still a little bit weak in the Swiss franc. We don't want to go wrong. I think just take the risk there, Jacob. Whack it up to your entry. Assume you got the entry same as ourselves at 92.94. Clearly, please, I beg you, use common sense. You're at 73. Don't whop it up to bloody 2 pips below, then you're going to get stopped out. Well, I'll still get a couple of bucks of it. But if you got it at 72.94, as we did here in the trading room, yes, you can put it entry. It might come off, and he might get the last laugh, but he won't because he's still made, and we haven't lost on it. Okay, so if you're in a buy, we in a buy, that's what I'm teasing him there, Jacob. Get with a program, man. That's what I'm teasing him. He's teasing me. So yeah. So if you want to move your stop, maybe it might be an idea because I'm very iffy on this one. This was more part of banter than anything else. Rather get it to this, 62.94 entry, then you can't lose it. So if he starts taking the mickey out of us, say Jacob, then we can say at least we didn't lose on it. Yeah, we're about that same in trading. Doing okay. It's accumulating now. Well, it's iffy. It's not. Wouldn't be my first choice. Put it that way. As my wife said to me on our wedding day. Just joking. Is it not falling off now? Is it? That's going back up again. Why would you take it? You know, look at the hourly chart. Actually, look at the 15-minute chart. Came off a bit, but look, it's bounced up again. No, take it. Who's that calling that? Harold, no, don't take it. You got your stop protected in a profit at 143.30. Oh, sorry. Look at the time. It was just coincidental there. No, not necessarily. You've got your no. If you've got your stop and the profit, why would you do that? If you get stopped out in the profit because it goes against, so be it. If it goes well, if it's highly inflationary and the dollar suddenly strengthens, you might turn into a super profit. So no. Make sure, if you've got yours at 143.30 at 14.30, like that, no, leave it. You know, if you get stopped out in a profit, if it goes with you, what a pleasure. Then you're going to be another situation like that the other day where the euro fell off because the dollar strengthened. I hope you got what I'm on about. That's important. Okay, thanks anyway, Jethro. I know you got to go. Thanks for making it anyway. Good stuff. Okay, I hope that makes sense, Carl. Very important. Good stuff. Okay. Every time you get worried, if you sort of just entered beforehand with a fat wide stop loss, everything goes against. But if you're in a profit, it doesn't matter. I nearly missed that, Adele. Nice one. Nice one. I think we'll give you the first set to you on that one. If your trades come right, you give me the second set. And we're going to play a man's game and a major. It's going to be the best of 5, not the best of 3. Nice one. I nearly missed that. Very good. Humor with aplomb. Okay, where are we? TDD. Yeah. So what's its GBP CAD? Is it ready to move it yet? No, it's not. GBP CAD. Wait, we've got in. I don't think we can yet. 95.89. No. Giving me a bit of hassle, this one, but at least it's slightly in profit. It's been giving me a lot of jip. I think you did okay, actually, Adele. So I think you got a smile on your face there, but giving me a bit of jip on this one. At least in profit. Well, we're about the only one. The camera does not love me in the same way it loves this early. So yeah, and I think you're teasing me as well. No damn fine white car. Not trying to hide my handsome face. I'm trying to hide my Philip habit. Philip knows what I mean. I'm probably sure everyone else has guessed that one as well. Cat JPY. Okay. Thank you for coming up with something there, because I was thinking, what's the next one? Does that just come off? Bloody hell, that's it come off. Oh, Cat JPY, sorry. Thought the US dollar, that panic then. Okay. Yeah, Cat JPY. Those didn't get in, obviously. I don't know if you got in or not. If you're in, hold it. If you're not in, here's your chance. Get a better price. Are you in, Adele? If not, I'll put the risk reward. We had on earlier on. Katie, oh, no, we didn't. We waited. You're quite right. Someone's on the ball here. Bloody hell. Someone's on the sodding ball here. Yeah. Okay. Come back to test that. Now we get an entry. You're quite right. Oh, we'll hold it. Don't worry. Hold it. Give me a better price. I want to put the stop down there. And the TP up here. 1107. We might get a better TP if we can't make the risk reward. 1107. We can't get a better reward. We can't. So we'll just push it up there. So I think it's a good chance to get in there. If we get those fundies coming out up us 2 in our favor, we might even get to 111. Okay, that'll do it. Try maybe a little bit below for the spread like I've just been on about earlier on. There we are. Do that one. Ignore the last decimal point. Call it 108.20 and 101.037. Going in now. Well done, Adele. Thanks for keeping me awake there. Thank you. Brilliant. You had the patience. You're learning this. Had the patience. But I still want to get a point off you, and I'm going to do it now by teasing you on this one. Don't go into a share with 0.5 again, hey? You missed out. You'd have missed out if I hadn't mentioned it, hey? Can I tease you? Tease me? Went in the BA with 0.5. Yeah. So now it's 15, no, it's one set all, 15 each, 15 all in the third set. I hope you're enjoying the banter here, Adele. It's all made it fun. Don't refer to Ashley. She teases it. Zeth particularly teases the hell out of it. Age before beauty. Yeah, that I think it's 3015 and it's on my server. So it's love 1530. Oh no. Well, good point, yeah. Although my mum says I still look very young. All right, my mum's no more, unfortunately. And she does wear thick glasses. Anyway, yeah, okay, so there we are. Okay, anybody in on the CAD JPY? Can I write it down? Well, Adele is. Anyone to join Adele on this one? Or someone else is already in? Tony's in. Afani's in. Okay, that's good enough. CAD JPY buy. 109, 108.20, and 11037. The PSLTP. And I'm going to come back to Gerard now. Yeah. Clearly, if this is not in the profit focus too, that's a difficult question. You suddenly decide to close it and it goes in your favor and you close it in a loss because it's now at 108.80 or 108.70 or something. You're going to be fed up. But you're going to be also fed up if it goes against it and stops you out. That decision you have to make. I'm going to put my head on the line here. It's only advice. You can't hold a gun against my head. I would say hold it. I would say hold it. If you do, well, if you've got your strategy, so be it. Not to panic just because the fund is coming out. You could miss out on a good one. If it does go against, I'm sorry about that. But hold it. We can't have our life stop because for a funding which comes out every day. The only exception I'd make is if the non-farms are coming out, then I probably wouldn't be jumping in. I might first thing in the morning, but certainly not later on, jumping the dollar or the gold or the market, stock market. Not can't because it won't be open. Sorry, or a Nasdaq or something on the non-farms later on during the day. But that's the only time I'd hold back. Yeah, and he's quite a threatening guy, Zeffirino. He's got a picture up there, but I'm telling you right now, he's 6'8" tall, and he's built like a rugby player, and he's a black belt in martial arts. So yeah, be careful, be aware. No, you don't round them off. You just ignore the last decimal point. So it'll be 110.37. That's make that 108.20, and then well, the market enters the market entry. Oh, joking. Bloody thing. Actually, you're going to have to give me bad. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. I thought it'd come back to about 143.30 or something. That's all right. That's all right. It's held. My stop, I'm fortunate one. I've got time out of swap glasses to make time, but I'm going to leave it at 40. It's a bit high, my stop loss. So I get stopped, that'll be a profit, but no, it still sits upside. So that's all right, leave it. Okay. One thing on the hour, it seems to be holding this. Remember, that's the 1 hour moving average now, 51 hour moving average. It seems to be holding. So what's the DXY doing? It's starting to recover a little bit, but Bitcoin's popping up there. So hold it. We're in that one, and we're in the CAD JPY now. And is that moving at all? Hovering. Well, come off a bit now, bloody thing. It's moving just now. Anyway, let that run, see what happens. Roger Nimmer, there's no belts of Dan's. Yeah, that's right. Yes, actually, yes, true. Yeah, good point there. You're like a fifth Dan or a fourth Dan or whatever. Yeah, and isn't it though? All the Dans are black. Then you get the brown and none of the fit now anyway. Clearly, I don't have them because of that. Because the reason why I don't need to know, Zeth, because I carry a gun. ADJPY moving along. Never shot a gun. I shot a gun once in my life, so I'd be kidding. Right, AUDJPY we got in. Oh, it's come off. No, where's it? No, we haven't. Yes, it's come off a bit. We got in there yesterday at 97. It's come off a bit, isn't it? It's come off quite a bit suddenly. 20 pips in the last hour. Yeah, we got it yesterday at 97. It's off a bit, but I still like it over the JPY. You got your stop at 95.90, which is a mile away. No, hang on. Today we got it. I'm talking rubbish. No, we got nine. That's sorry. I'm looking wrong. Got it today. It's come off a bit, but you got your stop a mile away. So remember, don't panic. Don't panic on it. I mean, it will go up and down. Like I say, you got your stop to protect you. It's going to go up and down. It might go up and you're looking brilliant. It's gone up 20 pips, and I think I'm back 20 pips. That's the noise. Okay. Just hope it stays as noise and recovers. Okay. Good point. Yes, you can. Good point. There you are, Jacob. Good point. I'll put the stop loss in. We've got a nice wide one for you, which is well set 95.90. And you're getting a decent risk reward in this one now, 98.56. Get a better risk reward. There's your risk, 110 bucks in my pro. I'm still pro it. I'm still for it. The noise we're going to put up with. It's part of trading. Okay. I do quite like it. Just give me a moment. Why don't you check on that one to see the prices for entering? Give me a moment there. Yeah, I can knock that off then. And you're recovering the Jap. Yeah, start to recover, say DJPY. That's good. All right, so to quickly see the GBP one to see if US dollar. No, leave it alone. It's not coming to the party as yet. It might be a little bit quiet going up to upwards $2 related stuff. Just bear that in mind. That would be fairly sideways there. See what's going to come out upwards to. There's 3 different ones coming out as mentioned. It's not come off enough. It's 20 pips. If that can break through, remember it's not a dollar related here. If it can come back through, drop below 70, maybe 65 mark, you can move your stop down to entry, and then you can't lose in the trade. I think just leave it for a moment. Come back to it just now. Okay. Right. And you're recovering this one here. Bloody hell, it's giving some jip here. But anyway, it's still in profit. You're protected. You're going to make a profit anyway. Maybe I'm getting greedy. I want a bigger one. Well, I think I'm still going to be strong, but say when the fundies can change that around. What's happening is it was expecting 0.75% increase coming up next week. Tell you what today it is, by the way, the interest rate announcement. It's Wednesday or Thursday? It's Wednesday. Just give me a moment. Wednesday. So it's coming out next Wednesday, which is the 21st of September, interest rate announcement. The heavy money was on 0.75, some was 0.5. Since we had inflationary CPI a couple of days ago, now overwhelmingly it's 0.75 and some smart money on 1%. So the 0.5 seem to be taken out. Hence that immediate expectation of strength on the dollar. Another area of the jobless claims and the other two mentioned will confirm or otherwise on that. If they're not looking good, inflation is a likelihood of it, then you should see some more strength of the dollar. So we'll see what happens then. Okay. It's starting to come right better, this one. We might, if we come off a little bit more, get that stop move to entry. Okay. Yeah, if you're in there, it's far too close. It's far too close. You've got to know what to look for. Got to look at the maths and say, right, that is at the moment 12, just 12, all those zeros there. It's 12 pips away from your entry. It's too close now to put the stop at entry because the noise could knock you out. Those are scared. If they want, they can make it 1.0020. Then it's only 30 pips away and 20 pip loss if it hits you, which is better than a 50 or 80 pip loss, if you get my point. Don't forget, do the maths. Okay, you're after pips, not points. The last decimal point is a point, you're after pips. So 86 to 76 is 10 pips. So if I say to you, modify the stop 30 pips away from market, you'll immediately know to put it 30 pips above that. People say, what's that mean? They shouldn't be trading, they've got to know that. Saying you're wrong, no, there's something you've got to learn. And say, wrong, Lord, I didn't know that at the start, nobody does. GBP USD. Main thing is you're asking the questions. That's important. I quite enjoy your attitude, William, sticking it out here. You're just starting, instead of giving up and panicking, you're actually asking, finding out. If you like your attitude, you'll come right, you'll do well. Okay, GBP, it's the price of the euro. I'm not sure about that. Anyway, okay, GBP USD. Well, we had an original entry on this one, gave us some jip, had an entry on it, but I still see weakness of the pound, very much so. And our entry was that, and we got stopped out. We've come right back now to the same levels we had an entry. I still like the sell, and it looks like the 10 days holding. I still like it. Yeah. So it's not a bad question to ask that. Not a bad question, Mike. I think what we can do is have a wider stop this time, so we won't have that problem. Okay, where do we have the stop last time? I'll find the bloody thing. Oh, where is it now? GBP, where the hell is it now? Oh, here you go. I had a cross through, that's why. 150, I'm going to make it a wider stop. I make it 1.16. So we shouldn't have that same problem. In fact, we can make it 1.1610. There we are. That's out the bloody way. It's more of a risk per micro, higher, but rather have that and get stopped out again like before. See if we can get a better entry. We may have to take a bit lower on this. Not sure we can find one, so I'll make one up. Make it 1 point. Probably won't get it there. See any problem? Not quite getting it. So maybe we can take a slightly lower one, 1.1380. So I'm not cheating. Going to put a fib in on that one. Yeah, oops, pushing it a bit. You've got to cheat a little bit on this one if you want. It's up to you anyway. But maybe make it 1.1380 there. But it's cheating a little bit. I'm going to be horribly honest with you. trying to push it. Trying to push it, but yeah. But I still think it's better to have the wider stop. Don't want to get stopped out. I do see the pound, it can't compete with the dollar at the moment. I'm not sure. Something radical, really radical to happen in the USA to compete with the so the pound to be stronger than the dollar. So yeah, I agree with you. You can take it there, but you've got a wider stop. Maybe a slightly tighter. Yeah, you do those things. Yeah. Always remember, hey Mike, you know the score. You can modify. Even if it doesn't get anywhere near your TP, as long as you modify and stopped out in a profit. Well, there you are, then. Answer the question. Well, no, you're doing fine. At least your baby steps will start to some sort of adult steps, because you take the baby. A lot of guys aren't even taking the baby steps. Months down the line, they're asking questions. They should have been alert in the first week or two because they're not taking the trouble. So stick it out, William. It's all hazy at the moment. It'll start to come. Most is repetitive. We've got the AUD/JPY along at the moment. Okay. Anyone want to go in again on the pound dollar who we've missed out? Do you want to do that one again? Okay, there it is. I'll put it down again for the pound dollar. Okay, that's fine. And the AUD/JPY we've already got out. Where is it doing? What's it doing now? All got that? AUD/JPY. Always remember, bring a pen and paper so you grab it quickly. And if you want to take it, jump in and take it. And then put your SL and TP afterwards in case it starts to move. Now, this is not looking pretty, is it? Not looking pretty at all. It's not looking pretty. It's given me jip in the past, this one, I have to say, in all honesty. Because remember, the Aussie is stronger than the yen, but it can give you some jip. But it's got a bit of support on the daily. Look at the 4 hour. It's got a bit of support on the 4 hour, so it might hold there. Might come off another couple of pips, but it looks like it could hold there. So just hang 5 and not panic on it. Well, not panic yet, anyway. Okay. The stop loss shouldn't be large in the TP. It should be the other way around. The stop should be tight in the TP. If it is, I got it the wrong way around. William, simple as that. Your risk has got to be less than your reward, obviously. That occurs and something's wrong somewhere. It's either a typo or the guy who's got the wrong figures. And a lot of these, which you have to pay for apparently, guys send out trade ideas which you pay for, and they usually give 1-to-1 and extremely tight TP, so they can put up their hands. Oh, look at it! I made 10 winners, mind you. I mean, I can make 10 winners with a 10 pip or 20 pip bloody target or 30 pip target. Good. GBP CAD. Can we move it yet? Just about there. It's just about there. We've got a 95, 70, 30, just about there. I think we can take the risk. I just wanted to take the risk out. And the guys who got in a GBP CAD at the lower price, those who got the higher one, smiling all the way to the bank. The ones who got the lower price at 51.95, I think you can move your stop loss down now to EP. EP is entry point, EP. And then you cannot lose on that trade signal. That's at least on that one. Okay, so we got that one as a winning trade, whatever happens. We'll tick there. Now let's see now CHF/JPY. Oh, we're already good on that one. Now the yen. Is this yen giving me any more shtick? Bugger it. Been stopped out. Bugger it. Right. Okay. Try and turn some lemonade into lemon. No, lemons into lemonade, sorry. If it comes down a bit further, back to 143, then we can do it again, okay? We've been stopped out in a profit. If you're still in, that's a hold. You got your stop loss or whatever. You should be stopped out in the profit. Some have got a 143.30. If you do get stopped out in the profit, and it comes back down this sort of area here, we can enter it again. Be a little bit careful now. It's before 2:30. Just be aware of that. Okay. Yeah, the dollar index has come off a little bit. Just sort of say, don't move your stop too quickly, euro dollar, simply because you get stopped out in the dollar. That's all right. That's all right. It's still below 0. Sorry, keep saying 0. Still above. It's still below parity, 1.0. That's all right. That's all right. Euro, that's doing okay. I'd be worried for a minute. Popping up a little bit, but still been holding there, so maybe we'll get recovery. Okay, so AUD-JPY done, AUD-CAD, we call that, CAD-JPY, that's the other one we've got open. How's that doing? Too early to move. I hope it's doing all right though. No, it's not. It's come off a bit again. Right, see how they're jumping around a bit at the moment. But as I say, panic not. We've had a lot of ones that gave us a bit of stress, turned out to be winners. So keeping out the dollar yen, if it comes right, you know, go in again. Okay. Any questions, guys? I think we completed it all. Probably get a bounce in gold now. I'm not saying you should buy it, but I think you can get a bounce on gold. Bit overcooked. Anyway, but don't buy it, just saying. What's the NAS doing? The NAS starting to rise a bit. Little bit, yeah. Okay. Anything else? Anything else to go over again? AUD USD. It's a bit late to chase that one. Look this morning, a bit late to chase that one. Don't want to buy it, don't want to sell it, but I don't want to chase at this level. I want to get a better price. Anybody disagree with me? Anyone want to chase this level? Anyone want to buy it? Come to that. That's just my opinion. Remember, always, it's my opinion. I personally wouldn't be chasing it here. Certainly wouldn't be buying it. I wouldn't be selling it here. I want to get a better price, so I'm missing. That's my stance. Anybody else want to join Mr. Samsung there? We say check it. He's not giving a particular trade idea. Anyone, apart from leave it alone, LIA, anyone to do anything with this? Looks like it's doing actually sod all, actually. I like that, Jacob. That's high good economic financial jargon. In fact, forming a pack. To me, I'm saying, it looks like it's doing sod all. The traders there, quite simply, are waiting. That's all it means. It's too low on the support and resistance area to sell, and it's too going against the dollar to buy it. They're just sitting on their hands, basically. That's why it's a little movement, especially a couple of funders coming out later, which I've mentioned. Okay, before we close up, anything else? Any quick questions there? Anything you're not sure about? Anything you want to go over again? Please ask, and then we can do it. Trust you're all learning, all happy. The trades seem to be going at the moment all right. They're not brilliant, but our previous history seems to be okay. That's the major thing. Keep your hanging on in there. Complete decision on that one. You're right. For the reason I gave, I'm pretty sure that's as simple as that. I mean, would you go in at this moment? No. Well, if you don't, why should they? So why do you get any movement? Why do you get any liquidity? That's just high-speed traders. Good for them to give us liquidity. Okay, Mike, shall we wrap it up then? Because if there's something else, might as well wrap it up. Happy? And if you're unhappy, tell your spouse. Otherwise, seriously, all are good? All good? Great. Well, I like to hear that. Good stuff. Great stuff. See you later. See you later, alligators. Thank you. And see you tomorrow if you make it. Good stuff. Cheers, hey. Thanks, Bears. Cheers now. Oh, I haven't. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I forgot to put on the my face on the damn thing. Still on the quick. I didn't have the video on. I do beg your pardon. See what you're on about, Philip. I didn't realize that. Sorry. Anyway, never mind. See you this afternoon. Great stuff. Keep in contact, Adele, as always. You can, if you can. Okay.